best strategy I use in capturing 45 leads for my course launch in just 7 days. So some of us will ask us, what do you mean by leads? A lead are those people, or is a strategy you use to invite people, to make people provide their vital information in the form of name, email address, and phone WhatsApp number, where after they have filled up the form, inserting their information in an exchange for either a download, where after they have submitted the form, they will be able to access a download, which could be in the form of PDF or video, which will be useful for them. So we normally do this in order to have the information of our potential customer so that we can continue to engage them and tell them more about our product or our academy. So that is the essence of leads. So it is very, very strategic. Leads generation is strategic to an optimized and impactful meta ad campaign. So I'm going to show you how I was able to use this particular strategy to generate 45 leads in just 7 days. So let's go on. So this particular strategy, I'm going to show you what is required to use. What kind of forms do you need to use that are more effective? Are you expected to use an instant forms that is available in Facebook, or you are to create your landing page? Which one is more efficient? We are going to look at it as we proceed. And then the second thing is that I'm going to show you how to use 3-question rule in order to filter out the best leads, the qualitative leads, out of the remaining ones. Leads is a general name, but if you have so many leads that are not qualitative, it will not add any value to your marketing campaign. So I'm going to show you how we can have more qualitative leads using 3 questions. And then thirdly, we are going to look at what we call the golden hour. A golden hour is what is expected of us as soon as somebody fill that particular form, fill in their information on that particular form. What should be our next response? So we are going to look at the golden hour. So I'm not sharing a mere blueprint with you. It is not just about getting leads. It is about building a system that fuels your business while you sleep. So let's get started. So we're going to look at instant forms versus landing page. What do you mean by instant forms? Instant forms are forms that are usually available on Instagram and Facebook, where you customize it using a definite questions or data. So this is an example of landing page where I create it for my meta ad course. So this particular landing page require your potential customer to fill in their information in terms of their name, their email address, as well as their phone number. So after they have filled it, you now create a kind of button, just something like this, and then tell them to click. Once they click, they now get access to either a download where in the form of either PDF or video where they can use it. So this is an example of a landing page. And let me show you an example of a instant form. How do we access the instant form on our Facebook? So I have now opened my Meta Business Suite, where I'm going down by the left-hand side of the sidebar, where I will now go down and search for all tools. Here is the all tools. I will now click the all tools. And it's now going to show me different tools under the all tools. So we have it. So I'm going now to look at the instant form. This one is the instant form under advertised. You go down about second to the last items is the instant form. You now click instant forms. So this is the interface that is going to show you. So if you look at the top of the page, at your right hand side, you see a blue button written create forms. Then you click the create forms. So this is the form. So this is the form you are going to create as the instant forms to generate your leads. So after you have come here, you click now next. So here are the information where you are going to pick. If you look at the extreme end of the form, by your left hand side, you see form type, the type of form, and then the introduction, the questions, privacy policy, and ending. So here is the form where you can now fill in all the necessary. So whenever we are setting for leads, one important thing is that we should be fully aware of the trade-off between quantity, that is how many leads, and then quality, or how good the leads are. No matter how huge your leads are, if they don't have the required quality, at the end of the day, such leads is not going to add any value to your marketing. So it is important for us to always lay emphasis on the quality of the leads. That is how good the leads are, so that we can have more value to our marketing strategy. Because the ultimate goal of any lead generation is to, at the end of the day, convert it to either purchase our products, or to join our service, or to join our academy. But any leads that will not lead us to convert it to either purchase our products, or access our service, or join our academy, that leads is as good as a dead end. Therefore, we should also always concentrate on the quality rather than the quantity of the leads. Therefore, we are going to explore how we can go for a quality leads rather than collecting data from curiosity seekers. As initially explained, we have two different options. We have the Meta Instant Forms, and we have the landing page. So the Meta Instant Forms has no friction because it is easily used and filled in by a user without much effort. The forms are opened directly inside the Facebook or Instagram app, and the user never uses or leaves the platform. So we find it very easy to fill in the form. And how does it work? When the user sees your form, the Meta will easily pre-fill the user's name and email automatically from their profile. So the users will only has to click twice, and it doesn't need much effort to fill in the form. And why do we always use the Meta Instant Forms? Is that it creates higher value. You get significant number of leads because it is easy for people to fill the form. So more people, when they come across your form, as they find it very easy, they fill it, whether if they have interest or they don't have interest, but they find the form to be filled easily. And it has a lower cost per lead because more people fill in the form is going to lower the cost per lead, because the higher people click your form, the lower the cost is going to be. So much people will be on your will fill in your form, and it will lower the cost per lead. And one good thing about the instant form, it is mobile friendly. And you know, most of these Facebook users use mobile form, so it loads instantly when a user click it, and even on slow, it can load even on its very slow Nigerian networks, where a website might take 10 or more seconds to load. But the disadvantage of the instant form is that you come across a lot of leads that are not qualitative in nature. So they will not add more value to your marketing campaign, because more people come across the form and they fill it easily without much effort. So a lot of people will do that even if they don't have the interest in your product. So they may easily forget whether if they have filled in the form or not. So that's why sometimes you go on a campaign, a lead campaign, and you see people recording about 500 people. But at the end of the day, very, very few people will respond to what you are asking them, because initially they feel it because they feel it is easy and they feel it with less effort. And then the second option is the use of landing page. As I told you, you can use the landing page to customize it. So once you create your ad, when somebody click on the ad, that person will be sent directly to your website where is going to fill in the form. How does it work? The user has to wait for the page to load. After it has got loaded, then the user will now read your offer and then manually type in their details. So why do we use it? One is because it generates high quality leads. If someone can take its time to wait for a page to load and then type their information carefully, that means they have a high interest in your product. And secondly, it improves branding. You have a total control over the design of your lead form. You can, if you like, you can include videos, testimonials on your website, and all these things will add more value to the lead campaign. And thirdly, you can use Meta Pixel and also conversion API to track those that are what people are doing on your site. So you'll be able to track them and then use them again to retarget in retargeting strategy. But the disadvantage of landing page is that you will get fewer leads, because not all people that come across your page will have the patience or will put the effort to fill in your form. Only those that are only interested in your product will sacrifice their time to fill in the form, and then this will automatically increase your cost per lead, because at the end of the day you are going to have very few qualitative leads, and the fewer the people that fill your form, the higher the cost per lead your campaign will become. So at the end of the day, you have cost per lead, but still yet, it's better for you to have a lower number of people that will add value to your campaign rather than having so much people that will not mean anything to your marketing campaign. So my recommendation for you is you can start with a instant form, but there are other strategies you can use to filter out the best, to filter out those that have less value to your campaign and then have the best quality leads. So we are going to look at that strategy in our next slides. So the next slide, we are going to use what we call the 3-question rule. We are going to see how we are going to apply this particular question to have the best and qualitative leads that we can convert to become our customer or to become our students or to those that will access our product. So one of the strategy is the contact question. So under the question, you are going to ask them their email and phone number, and preferably you can ask them for their WhatsApp number. And the purpose of this is that you will ask them so that they can give you or provide you for a way where you can reach out to them. And then always ask for their WhatsApp number, because it is much more effective than email, so that we can be able to nurture them as we get their number, and we can have more engagement with them on our WhatsApp number. So for instance, you can ask them what is the name of their business they want to grow. And by putting these particular questions, you are telling them to consciously take decision and tell you what kind of business they have, unlike the instant form where most of the times the Meta automatically fill in some of the data for them. But this one, they have to take a conscious effort for them to answer this kind of question. So if you're able to build the contact using this particular strategy, you'll be able to have more people that have great intent or have interest in your product. And then the second strategy is the use of qualification question. So here you are going to use a multiple choice question about their current situation. For instance, you can ask them to see if they actually need your products. For example, if you are dealing in a course, you can ask them that, have you ever run a meta ad before? And you provide an option to them in the form of yes or no. And you can also ask them, what is your biggest struggle? And you can also provide option like high cost or no sales or account disabled. So these are questions that require effort to be answered. So once somebody takes his time to answer this, you know he is serious about what he is doing and what is about what to fill in. Then so the third one is the commitment question, which is the wake up call. So you can provide them with a short answer question where they must type a word or sentence. And the purpose of this is that this is the most important part of the rule. Meta cannot fill a short question for them. They have to do it consciously by themselves. So that will be able to at least make those that are serious or have a high intent in your product to do that. Those that don't have it will automatically leave. And then, so why these particular three questions work is that if a user has to stop and type the name of their business, their brain switches from mindless scrolling of their phone to active interest. If they type it, that shows that they are a high quality leads. But if they close the form because they didn't want to type, that means they have less interest, and they were never going to buy your course or enroll in your academy or even access your service. So you just saved yourself the time of chasing a cold lead or a lead that will not be useful to your ad campaign. And the final part of this particular section is the follow-up timeline. So this final section of the lead generation strategy is the most important for your success. So we need to bring our interest, or we need to be more attentive to what I'm going to say here. You can generate over 1,000 leads, but if you don't talk to them quickly as soon as they submit their form, you are essentially throwing money away. And why? It's because when people submit a form on a Meta, they are in a problem-solving state. So they need a solution. They are in a problem state. So they need a solution at that particular point. But when you leave them to wait for a longer time, like tomorrow or 2 days, you make them to move back to their normal life. And they may easily forget that they have filled up a form looking for a solution. So even if you call them later, at a longer time, they will look at you as an intruder. So this is a particular quote I put. If you call them, if you are able to do it on time, if you call them in 5 minutes time after you have received their information, you are a solution because you provide a solution at that material time, at the time they need you. But if you call them in 2 days or more, you are constituting yourself to be an interruption because they might not even remember that they have filled such kind of form. So it is time is of an essence for you to ensure that you respond to your leads as soon as they fill in your form and the form arrive on your table. So you quickly attend to them so that you become a solution rather than an interruption for them. So if you really find this particular video helpful, please don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video for more video like this. Thank you for listening.